Welcome back to another Wednesday on the Pagan Perspective. Thank you so much for being here, and I am your Wednesday host, Yeka. This week we are talking about paying for classes and the value of those classes or the information contained within them. So our question comes from Christina, so let me go ahead and read this. And they write, how do you feel about paying for pagan classes, such as Order of Bard or Black Rose Witchcraft? Do you feel it is worth the money, or do you think all the information presented in the classes can be found in books and online? So I have to start by saying that I have never taken either of the courses or any of the services offered which were listed in this question. So I did poke around on the websites a little bit and kind of saw what it seemed like they were about, but I can't really speak to the specific content in them. My guess is that the information can be found elsewhere. I suspect that because in today's world, information is not rare. I am aware that the Order of Bards has some, or at least I have heard, has some mystery and initiation elements later on in their tradition. So I don't know about that, if maybe there's some content there that might be harder to find or acquire somewhere else. But just because the information itself is available in other forms, it's available in other media, in places, doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't that the course isn't valuable or worth it. Because a course, and actually any platform or any medium that you're looking at, has different strengths and weaknesses. And it isn't just information that we're getting. So a course, for instance, has information, of course, but it has been arranged and put together in a very specific way. The ideas, which you could find all the ideas somewhere else, but somebody has taken those and woven them together into a particular story, into a particular way of understanding and interpreting that information. And there's also the experience that one has reading or participating, listening in the course, and there is the social aspect, the behavioral aspect in how information is presented. So if we think about, I'll use a course or a class, like a college course, for instance. You can go ahead and buy the textbook for a course, and all the information that's going to be covered in the class is going to be in that textbook. In fact, probably far more information is going to be in that textbook than will ever be touched upon on the course. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the course isn't worth it, because when you take the course, the information, first of all, is you probably read from your textbook, but you also have the experience of listening to the lecturer, having the interaction with your classmates, whether it's a brick and mortar or an online school. There's a back and forth with the classmates, and there is a social contract. There's an expectation around the way that you are going to relate to that information in terms of your internalizing, your taking in and remembering and that information, and the way that you're going to tie and connect those ideas to other ideas. So your behavior is going to change based on the expectations of being in the course. So I think, and having not taken these particular classes that are being asked about, is it's quite possible that there is that kind of value that somebody is going to find in them that would make the financial investment worth it for them. And also, the information may be available online, may be available in other books, but is it worth that person's time to sift through all of that to find the information that is being presented in this course when somebody else has already gone ahead and gone and done it. So information isn't the only thing of value. It is wonderful, but the experience that we have adds value as well. And the way that we relate to the information, which is facilitated by the different platform that it's being presented by or through. So I've been thinking about this a lot, specifically about YouTube and different ways of reaching people and different ways that we share, because now we have a lot more platforms. We have a lot more media to use to reach each other than we have traditionally. And YouTube's a really interesting one because I think this is our channel is a great example. The information on here isn't information that you couldn't find somewhere else. But I suspect, and this is what it was like for me before I joined the channel when I was watching it, I came to the channel because of the personal connection with the hosts. I think that YouTube is in a lot of ways, is a much more intimate way of communicating than many other forms that we have. Because sure, there's words being spoken. And, in a blog, and there's strengths and weaknesses. I'm not dissing a blog, for instance, but a blog, you just read the words and maybe look at a few pictures. But on YouTube, there's so much more communication that is happening than just the words, right? The body language that is being used by the presenter, the choice of background, the choice of clothing, all of the little details communicate so much to the viewer that the presenter, I think, is often not even fully aware of. But there's so much more communication. And then there is this beautiful added level of the social element of the interaction back and forth, right? Because what I'm talking about, the choice of background and body language and all of that happens with TV and movies. But the part where you can comment and I can respond to you and there's this back and forth, that's unique. So there's a value to this kind of communication on this platform that some people are going to hold, that's going to be really important for some people and not as important for other people. For other people, maybe the large amount of information quickly in a text format is going to be the most effective way for them to learn and interact. So it really varies based on the person and what they're looking for. So how do I feel about paying for pagan classes? I think that there can be a lot of value in them depending on what you're looking for. And I don't think that there's a problem with paying somebody for, and in fact, I think it's very important to pay somebody for work and time and investment that they have put into something, even if it's something that's art or religion or anything related like that, that their time is valuable no matter what the content is. That's my take this week. I'd love to hear from you folks what you think in the comments section. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next week, have a wonderful week and take care.